Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. So, it's been a little bit since we last checked in with the game here, and we basically had a string of 3 events all in a row here. The Christmas event, the New Year's event, and now the Winter event. I checked out the New Year event. There really wasn't much going on in terms of anything that I could pull from for lore or anything like that, so really didn't feel like I needed to do anything with that one in particular. But we are taking a quick look at the Winter events here, and I am expecting this to be a quick stream, just given the amount of content that we have to deal with here, essentially. Effectively, we've got once again a set of tasks to do for the event. Plus, we have a revision of the prior quest that was released. And then also, we've got some new field races to take a look at. So let's go ahead and jump into it. And let's go ahead and talk to... who is it this time? CME. Let's speak to them. Hello. Thank you so much for coming. So, jumping right into it. When I work on research, on equipment research, I have someone who helps me. He's a Veterans Arcs defender named Ross. But he's going to be leaving the battle group soon. So we got to talking about other people who could help, and your name came up. Hey, hello, Zimi. This is the one you were talking about? Ross? Sorry to interrupt. I've heard a lot about you. As you can see, I am an old man. And I got to thinking about who might take over as Zimi's helper. And, well, I kept hearing so much about you, and I figured you might be a good fit. Now, what was it again that you needed this time, Shini? Seasonal enemy battle data. Oh, that's right. Well then, there, you have it. What do you say? Think you could help out? Ross, isn't that a bit sudden? I mean, but actually, I guess it would help a lot. Please do help me with my data collection. I don't think there's anyone else I can ask.
Bye-bye.
Let's see. So, in terms of the tasks that we have to do now, so it looks like we just have to take out some of the enemies with the symbol above their head. So, best place to do that is out in the battlefield. So, let's head over to Dex Base real quick. And Rooks, good to know about that. So yeah, this is happening pretty fast here. We're already at 11 out of 30. Sheesh. Alright, let's find the next group. Actually, if we could just find a group of small ones, that's usually the best way to complete these. Rather than going for big targets, because each target you take down is only going to give 1 point regardless. So, might as well go for the smaller ones with the smaller amount of HP. And there we go. Battle data received. Thank you. Isn't there something else, Shimi? Maybe searching mineral sites? You need minerals, right? You heard her. Get to it. What? Alright, so we need some monotite, dolomite, and trinite. So, probably the best place to get that is going to be over at Halpha Lake right now, because of the randomite that's available. Ooh, it's a foggy day here in Halpha Lake. And there we go. You've found quite a few places to gather minerals. I'd like to reward you, so please come see me. Alright, back to Stia Camp. Yeah, this is moving along real fast here, that's for certain.
Hi.
Welcome back. Thank you. Well, what do you think? Yeah, this works. That's good. Guess that means I'm formally retired. You take good care of Shimi, you hear me? You don't need to put it that way, Ross. Shimi's a bit shy, but there's no one better with technology. Why, I can't count how many times her weapons and armor have saved my hide. And now it's up to you to give her all the support she needs. Ross, thank you for everything. You bet. But it's not like this is the last time we'll ever see each other. I'm a battle group veteran, so I'll just move over to training Ark's defenders. I'm sure we'll run into each other again. Goodbye now. Take care. Yeah. I hope you didn't feel like we forced you to help. Hopefully, if you don't mind, would you help me again? Of course, I can pay you. Well, I hope this is the start of a great relationship.
Bye-bye.
And yeah, that's pretty darn quick. What was that, 6 minutes, 7 minutes from the start of the show to completing this quest line? Yeah, these events obviously weren't going to have much behind them in terms of content, given just how long these events are going on for. Now, what we do have, however, are a couple of exchanges here. We have an exchange for seasonal points. And as you can see, I've already accumulated some seasonal points here, so if I want to just grab all this here right now, that'll put me back 30,000, but I'll go ahead and do that anyway. And that takes care of another task to use seasonal points. And then we've got all of these here, and this is kind of the meat and potatoes of the event here, whereby you're able to exchange for augment capsule level 4s here in order to really power up your gear. So, Might 4, Precision 4, Technique 4, Deftness 4, Gigas Might 4, Gigas Precision 4, Technique 4, Irati Soul 4, Vardi Soul 4, Triple Mastery 4. And all those combined together, you would need 810,000 points in order to get all those. Now, I'm pretty good on the Might, Precision, and Technique 4. And I doubt I would ever actually go for the Deftness. So if I just wanted to get the Gigas Might, as well as the Irati Vardi Souls, I can also get rid of the Triple. That brings it down to about 410,000 points for me. And then, of course, you know, you can add on to that any more of the weapons that you might potentially need. If you haven't had a chance to get any previously, or if you're looking to get them for other characters on other ships. Because, of course, you can always transfer items between characters on the same ship. You just can't do that on other ships if you play across multiple ships. But yeah, so if you're looking to at least get yourself a decent amount of augments here, then that are still a little tricky to get, then I'd probably say go with the Giga stuff, as well as the Irati, Vardi, and the Mastery. The Mastery, in fact, is actually the really big one here, because Mastery is just a pain to get in general, so it's really nice that Sega has actually brought this one out, but this one in and of itself takes 100,000 points to get if you want to max that out at a success rate of 80%. Okay. Along with that, of course, if you still have any seasonal points from the prior event, you could, of course, exchange that. And then we've got this exchange minerals one here as well, where you can trade in items like Hexakite and turn that into Infernium. So if I go to here, I've got 400 Hexakite right now, and I could max that out at 250 exchanged for 50 Infernium. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that because I am looking to get a second weapon for one of my alts here. And then, of course, we got Beta Reactors, which give you a nice chunk of Meseta. So Hexakites are used for that as well. 30 of them needed to max it out. And that gets you 10 Beta Reactors. And then you can exchange Monotite, Dualmite, and Trinite for Hexakite, Pentalite, Tetrasite, Photon Scales, Photon Quartz, and Photon Chunks. But again, that's going to come down to whatever your needs are. You can also technically pick up some Gold Prim Swords and Gold Prim Armors. The armors could be useful if you don't have a good source for those. But I've got a pretty decent stack of both the swords and armor at this point. So maybe I'll look to do that on one of my alternate characters on another ship. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on with the seasonal exchange. This event does go on until not this upcoming maintenance, but the next maintenance on the 24th, at which point then we've got, you know, the new area opening up. Well, technically not new, we saw it in the story, but it's that area where we found Doll's Falls to basically fight inside of there, and it's going to be fun fighting against, well, they were called Quartz Dragon back in PSO2. I think it's called Shetchel Dragon in this version. I might have said that wrong, but yeah, it's basically a Quartz Dragon. So it'll be interesting to fight them again with this battle system compared to what we had back in PSO2. Alright, so we've also got a quest available for this event, so why don't we go ahead and hop in and try that here. Practice Drill, Sandstorm Windup. Let's see if anybody's trying to run it right now. Micah, it's actually pretty easy to get into the game once you get past the initial part of the story, because basically most of what it is essentially just powering yourself up to get to the next portion of the story until you reach endgame. That's kind of how most online RPGs work, actually. So as long as you continue to work towards getting new weapons and armor, increasing how strong those weapons and armor are, as well as just leveling up in general, which you can do easily by going to any of the battlefields that are on the map here. And in fact, when you first start the game, you're going to be confined to this area here until you level yourself up and you're able to move on to Retem, and then Kavaris, and then finally Stia over here. So it's the game always pushes you towards leveling up and getting you towards the towards what we have in terms of the end game, effectively. Alright, so it looks like we got 3 players so far. I'll let this go for another minute or two, and then at that point, then I'll... Oh, actually, never mind, somebody's already proposing it. Sure, let's go for it. Oh, and here we go, actually. So I'll hold that thought for a moment here. The objective of this practice drill is to destroy a specific number of standard targets by throwing cannonballs. Cannonballs will appear when you defeat enemies. Okay. And that looks like more than 3 players there, so I'm wondering if maybe we got some NPCs here. Yeah, those are NPCs. Yeah, most quests are pretty quick to complete. That's for certain. In fact, the quest we're taking on right now is a special quest for the event that's going on right now. Gets us a good bunch of balls there. I am going to pull the audio back just a little bit here, since I see that that is a little bit loud there. All right. I'll admit it can be a little annoying when the ball goes to a different target than you're looking for. But I mean, I don't hate the mechanic. Alright, wave 2 is clear. Alright, wave 3 is done. Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it, yeah, Brooks. and those snow wrappings are part of this this Kelkulundo's special ability, built specifically for this task, or rather for this quest. Alright, we got an S rank from that. Alright, so a bunch of strugments, which will help to... Well, we'll have to see what happens with when we're able to power up our weapons again, if we're still able to use those or not. We do also have a Tenebrous bow, rather, and I'll take the gold prim armor as well. Alright, now with that, we also have some events happening, or rather some field races that are available now. Let's check out the one in the Halpha wetlands. Yeah, Ritem is, Ooh, I'm getting some frame drops there. Anyway, Ritem is, well, all of Halpha is interesting to say the least here. We're still waiting for answers at this point, but a lot of theories, including my own, are out there. And speaking of, actually, I guess I should address this at this point here. Earlier this week, or no, last week, I think, Sega basically put out a message to its players regarding some stuff that had come up previously regarding how players were learning certain bits of information. And, well, they basically come out and say, stop that or we're going to bring up copyright infringement. Yeah, that's kind of a big one, and it's... in a way, it kind of gives me a little bit of vindication here, just because up until now, I had basically kept myself clean in terms of my theories, not using any of those sources, just because, you know, I've learned from what happens in those groups, and I've seen them get things wrong in the past, so that's why I've always kind of stuck to what I know in terms of my theories. So I'm glad things have kind of... Well, it's a shame that, you know, a community has kind of had to close some of their chat channels over this, but at the same time, you know, it's up to Sega what they want to do. Now, granted, I'm not going into anything about the legal ramifications here. If things end up playing out in court, then that's for the courts to decide. But that's just kind of how things kind of have played out for the time being here. So. Anyway, let's go ahead and give this North Alio board a try here. Hello. And I'm going to assume that's you there, Rex? Unless you're not actually in this. Actually, no, that might not be you. Alright, well, whoever they are then, they're not joining in with the group here. So I guess we'll just do this solo then. And off we go. Whoa! What in the world was that frame drop there? All right, hang on. I'm gonna reset this. That got me all kind of. This is weird. I've never had frame drops like this before. And the thing is that they're happening within the game. OBS is not showing any frame drops at all. That seems like a fairly smooth course overall. Aside from a couple of bumps in the road every now and then. Oops, missed that one.
Success.
Yeah, that might be true, Rooks. There, potentially I might need to do that. But okay, 20,000 points from that one. Alright, and then there was one other, that also came out. Let's see where that is. I think it's somewhere in, Retem. Yeah, over here by, Galner Coast. I think this is the new one. Or no, wait a minute. It's not matching. No, I've done this one before. So... is it... this one by the Oasis, then? Oh, North Retem. Okay. There it is. Okay. At, Miraba Cannon. Thank you, Mr. Superbad. Alright, off we go. Looks like we got some roadkill here. It's my turn. Well, that's a drop.
Emergency announcement. We have confirmed the presence of powerful dolls in the vicinity of the Retem region. All ARCS defenders, please prepare for deployment.
How about that? We got an urgent quest coming up here.
Emergency announcement. We have confirmed the presence of powerful dolls in the vicinity of the Retem region. All ARCS defenders, please prepare for deployment.
We heard you the first time. I wish Sega would fix that bug.
Success.
Alright, so 22,953 for that one. Not bad. Alright, so those are the two new races. Let's take a quick look at what else there is. So, I do have a weekly task to clear the special quest 2 more times. In terms of limited time tasks, there is one here to clear 3 urgent quests, so since we got an urgent quest coming up, I guess we'll go ahead and run one of those while the stream is going. And then that's pretty much it. The only other thing would be under titles. And for that, you just need to collect 100,000 total seasonal points here. So, even that is pretty easy to get. And it makes sense. I mean, this event was only going to go for 2 weeks in the end. And frankly, this will be weeks 5 and 6 of a 6-week sequence of events that have happened on the server here. So, yeah, it makes sense that this would also have been a short one. Of course, you know, if you haven't done it yet, of course, you want to finish up your mission pass, since that's going to be ending tomorrow in terms of anything that you can get from this one, and the next one starts on Wednesday. Of course, you still have time to collect all your rewards. I still haven't collected all of them from the prior one, so I'd better get on that when I get a chance. We're still about 12 minutes away. Why don't we head back out to one of the fields here. Retem Elnoth is kind of the best place to go in terms if you're just trying to hunt down points. So why don't we spend some time in there while we're waiting for this urgent quest here. Guess we'll drop into rank 1, but really rank 3 is fine to use as well.
PSE burst.
Hello, they already popped a burst there. My problem isn't losing only 1 HP to mobs, it's the fact that they can still knock you over. At the very least, since I'm a Hunter Force combo, I'm able to pop a massive Hunter and prevent myself from being able to be knocked off that way. And of course, Zond is still king of techniques when it comes to PSC bursts, just because it's able to AoE multiple targets at the same time, and those bolts just jump all around, as you can see below me there.
PSC climax.
Yeah, Talus is also good for AoE mobbing, but the difference between Talus is you have to kind of still be on the level of where the enemies are. With casting Zond from above, at least you have a good chance of not being hit, or if you do get hit, it's rare when it happens, and you just have to jump back into the air. Alright, we already have a trial up, but what we want to do is we want to generate some burst gauge first before finishing that. Alright, it looks like the trial got finished. We didn't have enough burst gauge to pop another PSC burst there, so over to actually where the next trial popped up.
Trial start.
Alright, we're at 3 bars again. We need to get it up to 4. There we go. Now if we can just finish this off without a problem.
PSC burst.
And there's a burst. Alright, that finishes up the title for collecting points. Always nice to get an encore.
PSE climax.
Yeah, these bosses go down real fast because of the buff that's going on with the event. If you use the event weapons. And again, this event is still going to be around for another week. So if you're thinking of getting into the game, it kind of is one of the better times to get in. Just so that you can get yourself a decently powerful weapon. You might not be able to use it immediately, but once you do get yourself leveled up, you'll be pretty good to go for endgame, at least for the initial part of it. We know that there's going to be the new area starting Wednesday of next week, and then 2 weeks after that, I think, is when Dark Falls Aegis is coming out. So we'll see how that fight ends up.
Trial start.
I'm still interested in seeing what possible lore implications come from it. I'm curious if Crawford is going to try to screw over the player again in terms of their importance to the story, which really they don't have any importance to the story at this point, as it seems. But basically, see if he tries to fire his cannon again. And who knows what's gonna happen after that? If it's just going to be, it didn't work again, as if Crawford is saying that. So we'll see. Or maybe you'll finally get a hint that, hey, we need to go to Halpha Lake, because you know that's been a thing for a long time that has gone unresolved, and yet from early on. People discovered that there was, in fact, a battle theme in that area, which was triggered just by leaving Resolve Forest, going into Halpha Lake, and then disconnecting the Ethernet cable to get that to continue playing. Well, it could be the finale. I have my theories about what's going on up there in the sky, but, you know, there's always the possibility in any of my theories that I could be wrong, and frankly, it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. I'm just interested in trying to get towards the truth of everything. But it's always fun to take a guess before we actually know the truth.
Attention all Arcs defenders.
All right, let's see what we got.
A counter-offensive against dolls appearing in the Pretend
So,
region.
Dildoris Vera.
Participation of all Arcs defenders.
And then, of course, you know, this is something I'm going to bring up in the next Secrets video, but you see this ring here? Yeah, now take a look at what the mothership looked like. You're going to find a ring looking very similar to it there.
We are beginning a counter-offensive against dolls appearing in the Stia region. We request the participation of all Arcs defenders.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think we're going to be seeing you're talking about the area where the end of the Profound Darkness fight happened. I don't think we're going to be seeing that this early on. There are... Frankly, I think there's another fish to fry before we even start talking about something like that. I've been saying for a very long time that I think there's another Mother Brain in play. And that's probably what's controlling the dolls. Oh, so the Falls Memoria then. But I mean, really, at this point, it's pretty obvious, and I've said this, I think, before. At this point, it's basically the Manon show featuring Ina. And we're just kind of here as a background character that doesn't really have any importance to the story. I guess there's a possibility, but I'd need to see more evidence of that. It's certainly an interesting idea. Multiple knockdowns in a round, in a row. Nice. Well, I've been saying this whole time we're basically on a that we're basically on a world ship similar to Phantasy Star 3 Generations of Doom. But I guess we'll see who's right in the end. It's been said that the director that's working on this chapter, or rather, that's been the director of NGS so far, is also the one that I think worked on PSO2's Chapter 3, or Season 3, rather. And they might have also worked on one of the Geralt games as well. And that might explain why we see that thing in the sky. If anything, that may actually lend more credence to what I've been saying, in that is, oh, where is it? I don't think we can see it from here. The thing in the sky is, Geralian technology. And if that director actually transferred that idea into this game, then that would basically go towards what I've been saying this whole time. But again, we'll have to see what ends up actually happening. Oh yeah, no kidding. I agree that it's strange that everything connects to Alio, and that there's no bridges elsewhere. But again, given that 1,000 years have passed, I think we're also dealing with the situation of truth becomes legend, legend becomes myth, and people over time have forgotten what the truth is on this world, whatever this world is. We got a break coming up. There it is. Well, my question to that idea is, if Sega didn't want the story to connect back to Oracle, why would they have left PSO2 in the game then? Possibly, or we could still be that hero, and we've just been in cold sleep for nearly 1,000 years. It's not that crazy to think of, considering multiple years had passed between when the Profound Darkness awoke and then when we awoke 2 years later, after we defeated it. Oh, I agree, but if Sega really wanted to push New Genesis, why haven't they killed off PSO2 yet? I mean, obviously, there's the fact that the whole community basically thinks much of this version of the game is a joke at this point still. Well, let me also remind you that PSO and PSU were allowed to do a transfer similar to this, and yet they didn't go past like 6 months or so after launch of PSO2. The servers were just brought down very quickly after launch. In this case, PSO2 is hanging on for basically a year and a half now. Alright, so nothing too special here, it looks like. We did get a relic weapon, though. As good as that is going to do at this point. We did also get Might, Precision, and Technique 4, though, so that's nice. I'll get rid of the rest of it. If they're even working on a proper successor to NGS at this point, we'll have to see about that one. But yeah, that's pretty much the event as it is at this point. Like I said, this was going to be a short stream today, and yeah, so next week, or rather in a week and a half, is when we're going to have the release of the new battle area, which, if I had to guess, the entrance is going to be right there. Although it could also be up here. We still don't know what's in here. Both of these entrances are blocked off, so there's the potential there could be a third battle area added at some point. But we'll have to see about that. But yeah, again, Setchel Court, Setchel Dragon is going to be coming with that update. And from what I understand, things are going to change every time there's a PSE burst in there. So yeah, it should be a fun environment to run around in and just enjoy as, I guess, content until the Dark Falls Aegis fight comes out. But yeah, so that's going to do it for me today. Again, short stream. Really, really short, because there really wasn't too much else going on with this event. But yeah, that's it for me today. So, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.